Imagine waking up 7 days from now as someone so transformed that the people closest to you barely recognize you. Not because your appearance has changed, but because your presence has. Your energy, your power. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. People who seemed ordinary suddenly radiating an unmistakable force that draws others to them like gravity. And I'm not talking about charisma tricks or fake confidence. I'm talking about genuine transformation from the inside out. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who instantly commanded respect the moment they walked into a room? Someone who didn't need to raise their voice to be heard? Someone who seemed to bend reality to their will? What if I told you this isn't some rare gift they were born with? The ancient masters discovered something that modern science is only beginning to understand, that the mind can be trained to access extraordinary capabilities that most people never tap into. Capabilities that can transform you from being pushed around by life to becoming a force that shapes it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share the first of 5 powerful lessons that will completely rewire how your mind works. These aren't motivational speeches. These are practical tools that have been refined over thousands of years. Get ready, because by this time next week, the person you are right now will be unrecognizable, even to yourself. The young merchant woke early on the first morning. The teacher sat with him by a clear pool and pointed to their reflections. "Look closely," he said. "The person you think is you, is it really you, or just an image you've created?" The merchant stared, confused. "We build cages of our own making," the teacher explained. "We say, 'I am always angry,' or 'I am not creative,' not realizing these are just stories, not our true nature." He told the merchant about a boat that once crashed into another on a foggy river. The first boatman shouted angrily until realizing the second boat was empty, just drifting with the current. "Your anger vanishes when you see there's no one to blame," the teacher said. In the same way, much of our suffering comes from believing in a fixed self that doesn't actually exist. That day, the merchant learned to sit quietly and watch his thoughts float by like clouds, without chasing them. "Notice how thoughts come and go," the teacher instructed. "You are not your thoughts, you are the sky that holds them." On the second morning, the teacher taught the merchant about attention. "Most people's minds jump like monkeys from tree to tree," he said, "but power comes from being fully present." He showed the merchant how to focus on his breath, bringing his wandering mind back again and again. They practiced while eating, walking, even washing clothes, doing everyday things with complete awareness. When you're talking to someone, really listen instead of planning what to say next, the teacher advised. When you're eating, truly taste your food. This simple practice will change how you experience everything. By the third day, the merchant began noticing patterns in his thinking. "I keep worrying about what others think of me," he admitted. The teacher nodded. "These are the chains we forge ourselves," he said. "Each time you think, 'I'm not good enough,' you strengthen that chain." Together, they identified the merchant's limiting beliefs. The teacher explained how these thought patterns form deep grooves in our minds, like water flowing down a mountainside, always taking the same path. "But you can create new paths," he said. "Each time you catch yourself in an old pattern and choose differently, you carve a new groove." The merchant started writing down his automatic thoughts and questioning them. "Is it really true that everyone is judging me? How do I know this?" As the fourth day dawned, the teacher introduced practices to cultivate positive states of mind. Just as a farmer doesn't fight weeds, but instead plants good seeds and tends them carefully, we can grow kindness, compassion, joy, and calm in our minds. They began with loving kindness meditation, sending good wishes first to themselves, then to loved ones, then even to difficult people. "This isn't just nice thinking," the teacher explained. "These practices actually rewire your brain. When you regularly practice kindness, you become a kind person, not by forcing, but by nurturing." The merchant found it especially powerful to practice sympathetic joy, genuinely celebrating others' happiness. "I've always been jealous of others' success," he confessed. "This feels so much better." On the fifth day, they explored how thoughts create reality. "Everything we experience is shaped by our perception," the teacher said. "Two people can experience the same event completely differently." He pointed to a flock of birds overhead. A farmer might worry they'll eat his seeds. A painter might admire their beauty. A lost traveler might follow their direction. The birds are just birds, but what they mean depends on who's looking. They practiced reframing difficult situations. When it rained, canceling their planned walk, instead of feeling disappointed, the merchant learned to think, "Perfect weather for the garden, and a chance to read that book I've been wanting to explore." "Everything is connected," the teacher explained. "Your thoughts shape your feelings, which shape your actions, which shape your life. Change begins with how you see things." The sixth day brought lessons in creative visualization. "Athletes imagine perfect performances before they happen," the teacher said. "Your mind doesn't always distinguish between vivid imagination and reality." He taught the merchant to visualize himself embodying the qualities he wished to develop, speaking with confidence, responding to challenges with calm wisdom, making decisions aligned with his deepest values. "Don't just see it, feel it," the teacher instructed. "Experience how it feels in your body to be this version of yourself. What sensations arise? What emotions? The more real you make it in your mind, the more easily it manifests." Each evening, the merchant spent time visualizing his day ahead, seeing himself moving through it with awareness, kindness, and purpose. "Plant these seeds consciously," the teacher said, "and watch what grows." By the final day of this first lesson, the merchant already felt different, lighter somehow, more present, less caught in old patterns. Looking again at his reflection in the pool, he noticed a subtle change. "My face looks the same," he said wonderingly, "but something in my eyes is different." The teacher smiled. "You've begun to see with new eyes," he said. "This is just the beginning. Now that you've begun to understand the mind as your vehicle for transformation, it's time to remove what's weighing you down. Think of yourself as a hot air balloon. No matter how powerful your flame, you won't soar if heavy sandbags remain tied to your basket. These sandbags are your attachments and aversions. You might wonder, what exactly are these attachments? Look around your room right now. Notice how many objects you own that you never use, but can't bear to throw away. That old jacket you might wear someday. The books you'll eventually read. These physical items are just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lie deeper attachments to opinions, identities, and expectations. The need to be right. The craving for approval. The desperate grip on plans that reality has already changed. Consider the story of the monkey trap. Villagers would cut small holes in coconuts, just large enough for a monkey's open hand to enter. They'd place rice inside. A monkey would reach in, grab the rice, but with a closed fist, couldn't pull its hand out. It remained trapped, unwilling to let go of the rice even as hunters approached. Freedom was available at any moment simply by opening its hand. How many times have you remained stuck, unwilling to release your grip on something that's actually trapping you? Start by mapping your attachments. What possessions consume your attention? What emotional states do you chase? What ideas about yourself do you cling to as if they're your very identity? Just becoming aware of these creates space between you and them. The next step involves practicing the art of letting go. This doesn't mean giving up your possessions or becoming emotionless. It means holding everything lightly, like water in an open palm rather than a tight fist. When something doesn't go according to plan, notice your instinct to control, to force, to resist what's happening. Instead, take a deep breath and ask, can I allow this moment to be exactly as it is? You'll find a profound strength in surrender that force could never achieve. Remember, water doesn't fight the rock. It flows around it, and eventually, the water shapes the rock. Your aversions, the things you push away, avoid, and resist, hold just as much power over you as your attachments. They're simply the flip side of the same coin. Every time you think, "I can't stand this," or "I would never do that," you've created another chain limiting your freedom. Try this practice. For one day, whenever you encounter something unpleasant, a boring conversation, a traffic jam, dirty dishes, instead of turning away, turn toward it with curiosity. What sensations arise in your body? What stories does your mind create about the situation? By staying present with discomfort without needing to change it, you develop a remarkable power that most people never discover: the ability to remain stable regardless of external circumstances. One of the most liberating realizations comes when you grasp that you can take action without being attached to specific outcomes. Plant seeds, tend them well, but don't demand that they grow exactly as you imagined. This approach allows you to move through the world with both purpose and peace. Most people live their entire lives chained to an image of who they think they are. "I'm just not a creative person. I've always been bad with money. I'm too shy to speak up." These self-concepts feel so real, yet they're simply stories reinforced through repetition. Try sitting quietly for 5 minutes and asking, "Who am I beyond all my labels, roles, and history?" The spaciousness you discover is where true transformation becomes possible. Perhaps the most subtle but powerful shift involves moving beyond constant judgment. Notice how automatically your mind labels everything as good or bad, desirable or undesirable, worthy or unworthy. This habit fragments your experience and keeps you bouncing between craving and aversion. Practice observing situations without immediately categorizing them. When someone criticizes you, neither defend nor agree, simply listen. When you succeed at something, neither pride nor false modesty, simply acknowledge what happened. This evenness of mind brings a clarity and power that few ever develop. By freeing yourself from the grip of attachments and aversions, you create space for something new to emerge. Your energy, previously consumed by wanting and avoiding, becomes available for creation and transformation. And this newfound liberation becomes the foundation for your next stage of growth. With your mind now focused and your attachments loosening their grip, it's time to awaken the tremendous power within your physical form. Your body isn't just a vehicle that carries your head around. It's a living temple of transformation, a power plant generating the energy that fuels your entire being. Most people live disconnected from their bodies, treating them like machines that occasionally break down and need fixing. But those who truly transform understand a profound truth. Mind and body are not separate. They form one integrated system, constantly communicating and influencing each other. Think about the last time you felt truly alive, perhaps during intense exercise, while dancing, or even during a moment of complete relaxation. That vibrant sensation wasn't just a pleasant side effect of what you were doing. It was your life force, your vital energy, making itself known. This energy has been recognized by wisdom traditions throughout history. Some call it chi, others prana, others simply life force. The name doesn't matter. What matters is that you can learn to cultivate it, direct it, and expand it. Begin each morning by acknowledging the miracle of your body. Before checking your phone or jumping into your day, take a moment to feel gratitude for this physical form that breathes, moves, and experiences the world. Place your hands on your heart, feel its steady rhythm, and silently thank it for keeping you alive, even when you're not thinking about it. Once you've established this connection, it's time to clear the channels through which your energy flows. Just as a garden hose with kinks can't deliver water effectively, a body with blocked energy pathways can't conduct your full power. Try this simple but powerful breathing exercise. Sit comfortably with your spine straight. Breathe in deeply through your nose for a count of 4, feeling the cool air enter your body. Hold for a count of 2. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, imagining you're releasing not just air, but all tension and stagnant energy. With each breath, picture vital energy spreading throughout your body, dissolving blockages, awakening every cell. Do this for just 5 minutes each morning, and you'll feel the difference immediately, a clarity and aliveness that most people rarely experience. What you eat is quite literally what you become. The foods you consume don't just build your physical tissues. They affect your mental clarity, emotional balance, and energy levels. You don't need complicated diets or extreme restrictions. Simply ask before eating, will this food bring clarity and energy, or heaviness and fog? Fresh fruits, vegetables, and whole grains generally increase vital energy. Heavy, processed foods tend to deplete it. Notice which foods make you feel energized and which make you feel sluggish. Your body knows what it needs. You just need to listen. Equally important is how you eat. Try this experiment. Take one meal today and eat it with complete awareness. Notice the colors, smells, and textures. Chew slowly, putting your fork down between bites. You'll not only digest better, but will likely eat less and enjoy it more. Your body was designed for movement. Modern life has trapped many of us in chairs, cars, and couches, cutting us off from our natural state of dynamic motion. You don't need intense workouts to reclaim this birthright, just conscious, mindful movement. Try walking as if the ground were sacred, feeling each step connect you to the earth. Move your arms in gentle circles, awakening the energy in your shoulders and chest. Stretch like a cat, following your body's natural desire for expansion. These simple movements, done with full awareness, awaken more vitality than hours of mechanical exercise performed while your mind is elsewhere. The quality of your sleep directly affects your transformation. Most people think of sleep as simply time off, but it's actually when some of your most important inner work happens. Your body repairs itself. Your mind processes experiences, and subtler levels of consciousness can emerge. Create a pre-sleep ritual that signals to your body that it's time to shift modes. Perhaps light a candle, do some gentle stretching, or write down thoughts you don't want to carry into your dreams. As you lie down, scan your body from toes to head, consciously relaxing each part, and set a clear intention to use your sleep time for deep restoration and renewal. Finally, recognize that sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces for transformation when properly understood and directed. Most people squander this energy mindlessly or repress it out of fear or shame. The middle path involves neither indulgence nor suppression, but conscious cultivation. Notice when this energy arises and experiment with circulating it throughout your body, rather than immediately directing it outward or downward. This ancient practice allows creative and spiritual dimensions of this force to express themselves, fueling not just physical passion but artistic creation, compassionate action, and spiritual insight. As you work with these practices, you'll discover that your body becomes not a limitation to overcome, but a powerful ally in your transformation, a living bridge between your highest aspirations and their physical manifestation in the world. As your inner landscape shifts through mental clarity, detachment, and renewed physical vitality, you'll notice something remarkable happening in your outer world. Your relationships begin to transform. This is no coincidence. The people around you are powerful mirrors, reflecting back your inner state with uncanny precision. Most people blame others for their relationship problems. If only my partner would listen better. If only my boss appreciated me more. If only my friends understood what I'm going through. But those who truly transform understand a profound truth. Your relationships don't just happen to you, they emerge from you. The quality of your connections with others directly reflects the quality of your connection with yourself. As you change, your relationships must change too. Some will deepen beautifully, others may fall away, and entirely new ones will appear as if by magic. First, recognize the importance of surrounding yourself with people who support your growth. Just as a garden needs the right soil and climate to flourish, your transformation needs a nourishing social environment. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Their qualities, priorities, and energy levels are likely becoming yours through the subtle power of influence. You don't need to dramatically cut people off, but you can intentionally spend more time with those who embody qualities you wish to develop. Find even one person who inspires you, who lives with awareness and purpose, and your time together will accelerate your transformation more than any technique could. Create your circle of support. This might be a formal group that meets regularly, or simply friends who understand and encourage your journey. Share your insights and challenges with them. When you speak your truths aloud to supportive ears, those truths become more real and integrated. Now, for a more challenging truth, the people who irritate, anger, or hurt you are often your most important teachers. The colleague whose arrogance drives you crazy may be highlighting your own hidden pride. The friend whose neediness exhausts you might be revealing your difficulties with setting boundaries. Try this powerful practice. Choose one difficult relationship and ask yourself, what quality in this person triggers me most? Then, gently consider, where might that same quality live in me, perhaps in a different form? This isn't about blaming yourself for others' behavior. It's about using every interaction as a chance to know yourself more deeply. Look for what you can appreciate about difficult people. This doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior, but rather finding the humanity beneath the actions. Perhaps your critical boss is trying to maintain high standards because they deeply care about the work. Maybe your judgmental relative is actually afraid of being judged themselves. This shift in perception doesn't just make interactions easier. It develops your capacity to see beyond surface appearances in all areas of life. A crucial skill for profound transformation. The way you communicate creates your relationships, moment by moment. Most people speak and listen from habit, barely aware of the impact their words have. But conscious communication can transform even the most challenging relationships. Practice speaking truth without blame. Instead of "you never listen to me," try "I feel unheard" when our conversations get interrupted. Notice how this simple shift changes the entire dynamic, creating space for connection instead of defensiveness. Even more powerful is the art of deep listening. Give others your full attention, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but truly receiving their words, feelings, and the unspoken messages beneath. This rare gift often transforms relationships more than anything you could say. There's also wisdom in knowing when to step back from constant connection. In today's hyper-connected world, many of us have forgotten the value of solitude. Regular periods of intentional aloneness, even just 30 minutes of quiet each day, allow you to process experiences, reconnect with yourself, and return to relationships with greater presence. During these times of solitude, notice which social interactions drain you and which energize you. This awareness helps you make conscious choices about where to invest your relational energy. As you change, people will relate to you differently. You might find that relationships that worked in the past no longer fit who you're becoming. This doesn't mean either person is wrong. It simply indicates that your frequencies are no longer compatible. When this happens, you can try to consciously shift the relationship by clearly expressing your new boundaries, priorities, or communication needs. Sometimes relationships evolve beautifully when given the chance. Other times, a gentle, respectful distance naturally emerges. Perhaps the most powerful relationship practice is selfless service giving without expectation of return. This doesn't mean martyring yourself or ignoring your needs. It means offering your genuine gifts from a place of fullness rather than seeking to fill emptiness through others. Look for small ways to serve those around you. A moment of full attention, a word of specific appreciation, practical help offered without being asked. These simple acts not only benefit others, but dissolve the boundaries of the separate self that keep you feeling isolated and small. Through conscious relationship, you'll discover that the lines between self-transformation and world transformation begin to blur. As you change, your relationships change. As your relationships change, your environment changes. The mirror works both ways. Having transformed your mind, released your attachments, energized your body, and shifted your relationships, you now stand at the threshold of the most powerful stage consciously, creating your new reality. This isn't magical thinking or wishful dreaming. It's the natural result of the inner work you've done, like a seed that has been properly planted and tended, now ready to break through the soil into the light. Most people stumble through life reacting to whatever happens to them, never realizing they're unconsciously creating their experiences through old patterns, limited beliefs, and unfocused energy. But you're learning to live differently, to create deliberately rather than by default. The first key to conscious manifestation is aligning with a purpose greater than personal gain or comfort. When your actions are connected to something meaningful beyond yourself, you tap into a power source far stronger than individual will alone. Take a few moments now to ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What contribution do I want to make? How can my growth serve something larger than myself? Don't worry about finding the perfect final answer. Simply connect with the deepest truth you can access right now. This higher purpose becomes your North Star, guiding your choices when the path isn't clear. It infuses even ordinary tasks with meaning and draws unexpected support toward your efforts. Each morning, remind yourself of this larger purpose. Feel it in your body, not just as an intellectual idea. Let it awaken a sense of gratitude and commitment that energizes your day. With this foundation in place, you can harness the extraordinary power of conscious commitment. Unlike casual wishes or vague intentions, a true commitment has the power to organize not just your actions, but the very fabric of reality around your goal. Create a clear, positive statement of what you're committed to becoming or creating. Make it specific and compelling. State it in the present tense as if it's already happening. I am expressing my creativity fearlessly. I am building meaningful connections with everyone I meet. I am bringing my unique gifts fully into the world. Speak this commitment aloud, letting your voice carry the energy of your intention. Write it down and place it where you'll see it daily. Share it with someone who will support your vision without judgment or doubt. This isn't just a mental exercise. It's a declaration to yourself and the universe about the new reality you're creating. The clarity and energy of this commitment will begin attracting opportunities, resources, and relationships that align with your vision. Of course, obstacles will arise as you move toward this new reality. This isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's actually confirmation that real change is happening. Old patterns don't dissolve without resistance. The unconscious mind, designed to maintain the familiar, often fights what the conscious mind desires. When you meet resistance, whether internal doubt, external challenges, or mysterious delays, don't fight against it directly. Instead, dialogue with it. Ask, what are you trying to protect me from? What are you afraid might happen if I succeed? These inner conversations often reveal surprising insights about your hidden fears and limiting beliefs. By bringing them into the light of awareness, you diminish their power and can even transform them into allies for your growth. Another powerful practice involves paying attention to meaningful coincidences, those moments when exactly what you need seems to appear at just the right time. A book falls open to a relevant page. A stranger mentions the very thing you've been contemplating. A seemingly random detour leads to an important connection. These aren't just happy accidents. They're feedback from the universe that you're in alignment with something larger than your personal plans. Notice them, appreciate them, and follow where they lead, even if it doesn't make logical sense at first. Keep a daily journal of these synchronicities, however small they seem. This practice trains your attention to recognize the invisible support that's always available but often overlooked. As you continue on this path, you'll likely encounter parts of yourself that seem contradictory, the part that wants to shine brightly and the part that fears visibility, the part that craves connection and the part that fears vulnerability, the part that wants change and the part that clings to safety. Instead of rejecting these contradictions or trying to resolve them through logic, practice holding them with compassionate awareness. These apparent opposites aren't problems to solve, but polarities to integrate as you become a more complete human being. Visualize these different aspects of yourself sitting down together at a table, each one valued for its perspective and contribution. This inner harmony creates the foundation for powerful manifestation in the outer world. Finally, it's time to anchor your transformation through conscious ritual. Create a simple ceremony that symbolizes the completion of your old self and the emergence of your new reality. This might involve burning something that represents what you're releasing, creating an altar with objects that symbolize your new path, or simply standing in a special place and speaking your truth aloud. The form matters less than the meaning you invest in it. This ceremonial anchoring helps your unconscious mind recognize and support the profound shift that's occurring. Through these practices of conscious manifestation, what began as inner work now flows outward, reshaping your external reality in ways that might have seemed impossible just days ago. The person you were at the beginning of this journey would indeed be unrecognizable to you now, not because you've become someone else, but because you've finally become who you truly are. You've now discovered the 5 powerful lessons that can transform you completely in just 1 week. These aren't just ideas to think about. They're ancient wisdom made practical for your modern life. Each person who applies these teachings experiences their own unique awakening, their own version of becoming unrecognizably powerful. But knowledge without action is like having a map, but never taking the journey. The real transformation begins when you close this video and immediately put just one thing you've learned into practice. Start with whatever resonated most deeply, whether it's the breathing technique to awaken your vital energy, the practice of seeing difficult relationships as teachers, or creating your commitment statement to manifest your new reality. I'd love to hear which of these practices speaks most strongly to you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insight might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. If you found value in these teachings, remember that this is just the beginning. On this channel, we explore many more ancient wisdom practices that can revolutionize your life in practical, powerful ways. Subscribe now so you don't miss next week's video on how to maintain your transformation even when facing life's biggest challenges. And if you know someone who's ready for profound change, someone who's been searching for something deeper but hasn't found it yet, share this video with them. True wisdom has always been passed from person to person, heart to heart. By sharing these teachings, you become part of a lineage of transformation that stretches back thousands of years. Thank you for your presence and attention. Until next time, remember that the extraordinary power you seek has been within you all along. Your journey of becoming unrecognizable has only just begun.